Are you ready for Mardi Gras? What fun! Hurricanes, babies, King's Cake, and gumbo. Everybody loves Mardi Gras, especially in Louisiana. So, we're going to take off our Mardi Gras scarf and we're going to have some fun and make some King's Cake. Now, I decided, since a lot of people are kind of hesitant to make King's Cake, that I'm going to show you an easy way this year. This year, instead of making it from scratch, we're going to use Mama Papa's King Cake. And it makes the best king cake. It's just as good as a scratch king cake. So, there are two ways to make it. The first one is, if they give you a bag, you don't even have to have a mixer. You just put everything in this bag. They have a baby for you. See the cute little baby? And what does this baby mean? That next year, if you get this baby, you're going to get to have the party. But of course, in Louisiana, they have the party more than once a year. It's a month-long event. So, whoever gets this has the party the next weekend. It has your yeast. It has all of your wonderful colors, your king cake colors. It has your icing mix, your glaze. And it has your flour. Flour, baking soda, everything you need is in this bag, so you don't have to measure anything. And we're going to get my hot water started. So, we have our bag and we have our mixer. So, I put the dough hook on because I'm not going to spend 15 minutes mixing it in this bag. It does work and it makes just as good as the other. And then you actually let it rise in this bag. So this bag is multi-purpose. But I'm going to put it in this nice clear bowl so everybody can see it. And I'm going to open my bag of flour. And we're going to put it in. So now all the flour is in the bowl. And then we put in the yeast. And I'm going to have to go grab my scissors. So we put in the yeast and then we're going to mix it just a little bit to mix that yeast up in there. Now, we're going to add the cup of warm water. So we're going to put the cup of warm water in there and start it moving. Now we're going to add in, the butter's been sitting out on the shelf since I got up this morning, and we're going to add in a half a cup of softened butter. And the butter's been softened because it's been sitting on the shelf. Now we're just going to let it mix for just a few minutes. Then we're going to take one egg and we're going to put the egg in. And while that mixes, I'm going to grab the spatula.
Baxter!
Get out of the way, baby. And you can see it's kneading this dough. And this is why I am using my glass mixing bowl, is because I wanted y'all to be able to see how this just kneads it right up and we aren't having to knead it. And it says to knead it for about 3 minutes. So we've mixed it for 3 minutes and we're going to turn it off and knock the dough down. I'm telling you, this is just so easy. Now, you're going to put it in a warm place. Well, if you want, you can turn on your oven to 200 degrees. As soon as it reaches 200, you can turn it off. It will be warm enough for the whole time. Or, as I was telling Roy, I just got a brand new oven for Christmas, and my bottom part of my oven is a proof oven. And a proof oven is what you use to have dough rise. So, my oven down here is a proofing oven. And I'm going to take my rack out, because it's got 2 racks, and I'm going to put my bowl in my proofing oven and shut the door. Now, it's also a convection oven and a regular oven, and it actually has a pizza adaptation on it, so it cooks your pizza just perfect.
So are you selling these ovens?
No, but I love my oven. I had one just like it in my old house, and I dearly love it, except for it didn't have a proofing oven at the bottom. And I'm always watching the British baking show, and they're always using the proofing oven, so I just thought I needed a proof oven to have my bread raised. So, this is it. We're going to let it wait until it's doubled. Then we're going to push it down and go to the next step. While we're waiting to bring the bread out of the cake out of the oven, we're going to make praline sauce. Like I said, all of this comes in a package. So we've got the praline sauce right here. We're going to put it here. We're going to put our butter in the microwave and melt a 1/4 cup of butter. Now we're going to chop some pecans to go in the praline sauce, because there's nothing better than pecans in the praline sauce. They do not come with it, but you always got to have pecans in a praline sauce. So we've got almost a cup of pecans here from my freezer, and we're going to put these, and we're going to give them a real rough little chop. You can do this with your chopper, or you can do it with a knife. I just love my chopper. My friend that has one says it takes all your stress out using a chopper. So we're going to grab our butter from behind our Mardi Gras mask, and here is our praline mix. Like I said, this just saves you a lot of time, and this way it may make you want to make a king cake, because you aren't measuring anything or doing anything but just adding butter and eggs and water to these things. So we're going to mix this up, and you can see, and can you smell it, Roy?
I smell it. I wish we had smell-o-vision on the camera, because everybody should be able to smell this.
So we've got our praline sauce, and now we're going to add our nuts. And I probably chopped too many. I like pecans. It's probably the one thing I do miss about South Georgia is being able to go to my parents' house and pick my own pecans, or my daddy would pick them and shell them and pull out all the meat for me, which was always nice. So that's all there is to the praline sauce. We're going to put it there. Now we're going to come over here and open our oven that we've been letting the dough rise. And now we're going to put it out. So we're going to put a little bit of flour on this sheet, because we're going to get ready to roll it. So just any flour that you've got. And then we're going to pull out our dough and put it on our floured parchment paper. If you don't have parchment paper, use wax paper. Some people even do it on their counters themselves. I always like to do it on parchment paper. So we're going to punch it down, and we're just going to knead it just a tad. And because you don't need to knead it like you do bread dough. Now we've got our rolling pin, and we're going to make it into a rectangle. So we're going to make this into a rectangle right now. And it needs to be, it says 5 by 30. We're going to put a little bit more flour on the top. And yes, I have washed my hands with soap and water, so don't panic that I'm using my hands. And we're making it into the rectangle now. And it's supposed to be 5 inches by, and some of those little con pieces were on my hand and they kind of get in here, but y'all will like that if you like pecans. We are going to have ones to give away that do not have pecans, so when you drive up, if you are allergic to tree nuts, please let us know, because we don't want you to be at the emergency room while we're enjoying our Mardi Gras party tonight. So if you come to pick one up, just please let us know. Okay, so that's about it. Now, real hard, we're going to take this and we're just going to sprinkle it on the whole thing. Like I said, making this cake is not hard. And yes, the ones I made y'all last year were from scratch, but this year I thought, oh, you know, people are going to be real disappointed if they have to do the flour and all the measuring. I'm going to show you a real easy way to do this, because I have been known to use these before. So we just spread this out. Now we're going to roll it up. We want everybody to get lots of the brown sugar and the pecans. So we're going to start rolling it up, because we're going to make it into a ring. So we just roll it up all the way down. And then we come back and we just keep rolling it up. And then we're going to pinch it in to make it in. So we're just going to pinch it together. So do one final flip so it's upside down. Now we're going to make it round. So I have my pizza pan. You can use a cookie sheet. You can use anything you want. I like to use a stone, but I like stones, so we're going to lift it up, maybe, and we're going to put it on to the pan. And then we're going to form it into a circle. And then we're going to pinch the two edges together. So, now we've got our king cake, and we're going to put it aside and let it rise again in a warm place. And when we come back, we're going to ice it. So we're putting it back in the oven that waited for 200. We're going to put it back in there, close the door, give it 30 more minutes, and it'll be done. We have our wonderful king cake here, and we're putting it in the oven for 25 minutes, and when it comes out, we're going to decorate it.
Okay.
And it'll be ready for festivities on Mardi Gras.
And what is the oven set at?
And the oven is set at 375.
Okay, so we'll come back in 25 minutes or so, and we will take it from there.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
We're going to set it for 20 minutes, and okay, the timer is off, and we're going to pull the cake out.
Oh God, that smells incredible.
Well, just wait until you taste it with those wonderful pecans. So we're going to put it on my turntable. And if you bake cakes, these are wonderful things to have. You can buy them at Publix or Kroger, and they're just little wooden turntables, and you can actually put your cake on there, and it spins it around so you can get all the sides when you're icing it. So now we're going to make the icing, and finish this cake. So we've got the glaze mix here. Like I said, we don't have to get anything. We don't have to mix anything. You don't have to buy anything but this cake. And we're going to put the glaze mix in here. And then we're going to see how much water we need in there. A tablespoon of water. Now, you can put in heavy cream. And yes, if I'm doing this for my own family, they love heavy cream. So I have heavy cream in the refrigerator, and we could be putting heavy cream in here. So we're going to put just a single tablespoon in here. And then we're going to stir it up. And this is going to be why it's so good that we have this little turntable, because we want to have the icing go all the way around this cake. And you can just see how easy it is. We're just stirring in the sugar. And then we're just going to drizzle this on the cake. So we're just going to take it and we're just going to drizzle it right around the cake. And the cake is still warm enough that it's going to cause this to actually flow. So we got glaze all the way around it just about.
I can see it. It's flowing.
It is flowing. And we're going to grab a knife and help it just a little bit. And you can see it. And we're just going to make sure that it gets some all over. Because all this is good for is to let those pretty little colors stick to it. So we just want enough glaze for it to stick to. And you can see it's just going right along.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now we're going to take our colors, because it's Mardi Gras colors, as you can see on the cake. And sometimes I think on the next cakes I make, I'm really thinking I shall make some more of my own glaze, because I'm not sure we have enough glaze for what I like to eat.
Now that's just regular powdered sugar and water. That's
yeah,
correct?
that's just powdered sugar and water.
So if people wanted to make their own glaze, they could just make additional. So if you wanted to make a little bit more, you could just, and you can see we just sprinkle this on. Because now we're putting the Mardi Gras colors on here. And now let's get the purple. So now we got the purple, and the purple, and the purple, and the purple. Oh boy, it feels like Mardi Gras now.
And we're going to use all of the icing. And let's put a little bit more yellow on the sides. And here I tell you about turning it. And
oh, that turntable is great.
Yeah, usually I turn it. Let me turn this thing off. Sorry, I had just turned on my dishwasher, and yeah, the turntable, when you're icing a cake, this is wonderful, because you're icing your cake and you can turn it. And so the cake's turning and not you trying to run around on all the sides.
Oh, that
and
looks
there's
great.
our king cake. And it's going to taste great. And Roy and I are going to cut it and make sure that it's worthy of y'all.
Yeah, it's important to taste test, just to make sure that we're not handing something bad out to all of our members, right?
That's right. So, which color do you want?
You pick.
How about some green?
Green is fine.
We're going to give him the green. So we're going to cut a piece.
Okay, yeah, show us also what that cake looks like on the inside.
And you can see the praline mix on the inside of it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the pecans.
Oh,
this
my.
Side. And you can see it's rolled up just like a cinnamon roll.
Yep. Oh, beauty.
So, and then here's Roy's piece.
Roy is going to try some.
And here is Roy. He's going to taste and see if he can taste that pecan and that praline. It's finger licking good.
Thank you, Mary Lou. Yeah, I think it passed the test. I think we can hand these out. At least whatever's left. So, thank you,
So
Mary
hurry on down.
Let me get you, and you can say goodbye.
Goodbye, and thank you for coming to join me for Mardi Gras.